Hi everyone, welcome back to this week's spectacular show of OC Spotlight here on Channel 39. I'm your host Mark Seo, and today's show we have a very special guest for you all. Have you ever felt intimidated by all the wine choices at your local store? Do you want to impress your friends with the perfect bottle? Well, guest tonight is here to help. Let's give a warm welcome to John Marco Josephine. How you been, John Marco?
Doing great. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking as well. And thank you for being here.
Oh no, of course.
We know that you, during your time in Italy, we know that you blend like Californian and Italian wine culture. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so that's because in my my personal experience of life, I was born in California, Long Beach, and my dad is American and my mom is Italian. So when I was a kid, we moved to Italy, and so having these two culture backgrounds kind of also helped me into the industry of wine. The passion of Italian wines combined with the passion of California wines, it brought me to what I'm today. So that history of Italian wines, but also the let's say the future of California wines is it's a great experience. Yeah.
Interesting. And our main topic is for people who don't know, what is a sommelier?
So it's just a fancy word to say drinking wine. No, it's basically sommelier is someone that first of all understands the wine that he has in front and what this wine can be in years because wine is a living thing. It moves, evolves. So a wine that you can drink now would be different in 5 years. So also they understand what is the story behind the wine, like where it comes from, the flavor profile, and also how to pair that wine with food and obviously sell it.
That's nice. And there's one question, like, is there like a specific restaurant that you work for, or do restaurants pretty much come to you for your expertise?
Oh, I wish they would come to me. No, unfortunately not. I have a territory where I cover, and I go and I just introduce myself and just kind of present my portfolio to the clients and do a tasting and explain the wines, understanding what they have on the menu, wine and food. So yeah.
That's nice. So going back to the sommelier, what are the steps to take to become a sommelier? Like, what are the obstacles?
So I mean, definitely you have to have the good combination of experience and obviously knowledge. So experience is given by tasting. Not being an alcoholic, but definitely tasting wines and understanding the wines and also studying. So obviously there's different associations that give you certifications based on tests, and there's first level, second level, third level. For example, I'm doing WSET, and that is a British association, and that I did the first, second level. Now I'm currently studying for the third level. But without the experience, knowledge you can't have one of the two. You have to have both. And that is also meaning you have to go and visit the wineries, you have to go and visit the vineyards, see the grapes. So yeah.
That's awesome. The world of wine is truly a captivating and interesting world. There's always more we can learn about wine. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our show, OC Spotlight. Once again, I'm your host, Mark Seo, with our guest, John Marco, wine specialist. We have here in front of us some wine, and John Marco here is going to tell us what one should be looking for aside for just liking it.
Yeah, so definitely the label tells you a lot. Here we have Dow Winery, so both wines come from the same winery. Obviously, two different wines. We have a Chardonnay and a Cab. So the label tells you a lot. For example, it's interesting that in the back of the label, one important thing that you could notice is when they say, for example, here it says produced and bottled. Here we have, for the Chardonnay, we have the produced and bottled only. Where in this Cab, we have grown, produced, and bottled. So that grown is an extra detail that makes it very interesting, because this, you understand that this wine is made from grapes that are grown in that area, in that winery. Where here we only are guaranteed that is produced and bottled at the winery, but we don't know exactly where the grapes are coming from. So that is a small detail that if you can look, if you go to a grocery store and look in the back, it's a plus always if it says grown or even a stake grown. And obviously in the front, if you have more details of where the vineyards are from, for example, here we have Cab, Paso Robles, like the Chard, but there's an extra detail. It says Adelaida District. So that is a small area that is inside Paso. So that is more specific of where this vineyard is from. Where here it's more generic, it's just Paso. So obviously the more specific you are in the world of wine, usually you have better quality. Where the opposite, the more generic you are in the informations, you have a little bit less, less quality in the wine.
Interesting. What's your personal favorite wine?
Probably Barolo.
Barolo?
Yeah, Barolo is from Piedmont, northwest of Italy. So it's made with Nebbiolo grape. But also I love Pinot Noirs. I'm a Pinot Noir type of guy that loves Burgundy, France, that area. So even a Cab Franc. So yeah, definitely these wines are probably my...
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that is all that we have here today. I want to thank you again for being here, John Marco.
Thank you for having me. That was great.
Once again, I'm your host, Mark Cicero, signing off here on Channel 39. Come back next time for another show of LC Spotlight.
Good afternoon, Orange County. Welcome to this week's OC Spotlight Channel 39. I am your host, Jessica Milla, and today is a special day for any skateboard enthusiasts who are currently watching, as our upcoming guest is someone who is very passionate about this sport. They have only been skating for about 3 months and has developed a tremendous amount of skill since then. He is currently recovering from an injury, but that did not stop him from coming to today's show. I am here with our guest, Alexander, who is going to tell us all about his experience in the world of skateboarding. How's it going, Alex?
Good.
Welcome to the show. It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
I can tell that you're really passionate about skateboarding. I mean, you brought your own board and everything. I can tell you're very committed to the hobby. And honestly, I've seen some of your skills, the skate parks, and honestly, I am genuinely impressed.
Thank you.
Like, no one can outdo you. And it has me wondering, what got you into skateboarding? Like, anything that inspired you?
Well, not really. I mean, I kind of wanted something, to do over the summer because I had plenty, but I wanted something more active because, again, I like active things. And, I'm like, why not start skateboarding? Because, again, I've rode penny boards as a little kid. I used to bomb hills with like my neighbors, but I never actually got like an actual skateboard because penny board's like a smaller board. So I'm like, why don't I just try it out? Why not? I might be good at it. Tried it out, went to a park, and there was a lot of kids that were about, our age, maybe younger too. And you know what? And those guys were good. I'm like, I need to get as good as that. So, I had the motive to do it. And then I started, like trying it. I'm like, okay, why don't I try an ollie? Did that. And then I just started getting good. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep going. Let's keep going. And then I just got the motivation to keep doing it. So then just went for it,
So it was like the one moment that got you inspired to just keep going. Because you're like,
Yeah.
if I can do this,
Then
might as
maybe
well
I
get
can do
there and
this.
improve.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's more the fact that it's like, okay, you know what? I want to do this. I can do this, and then once you do it, it's like the best feeling, dude. Because like a lot of it is literally a mental game too. I still remember when I did my first six dare, like I'm like, I could do this. I know I could. And then I committed to it and it was like the best thing, dude. Like I'm not even, and then from there, it's just that,
Yeah, I can totally relate to it because while I don't skateboard, I do scoot. And when I started getting to using my scooter as a kid, I felt the exact same way. Like if I'm able to control it, I'm like, you know what, might as well improve, might as well start doing crazy things
For
with
sure.
it.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about commitment too. Like I said, you have to be committed to, not just the trick, but just all of it in general. Like I said, like being consistent, because it's like anything, it's consistency too. Because like skating is one of those things that if you stop doing, like you're not that good at it. You get rusty. Because even I recently had an injury, and when I came back, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be so rusty. But I wasn't, that bad at it actually. I was a little rusty, but I came back, was more consistent, and I'm getting better again. But it's all about consistency. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how you kind of progress with this. I mean, and the cool part is like I'm like I mentioned earlier. When I spoke to you earlier today, I told you like with skating, it's more the fact of like everyone learns differently. Like everyone. Some people learn how to ollie first. Some people learn how to like kickflip. It's weird because ollie's the first thing you're supposed to learn. No, some people learn actually how to kickflip better, which is weird. So everyone progresses differently. That's what I like about it. You know what I'm saying? There's different styles to it. So you can kind of be your own, how would I say it? Be creative with it, create your own style of it. You know what I'm saying? Some people like to skate stairs, rails, etc. So that's the cool part about it. It's finding what you like in it.
I mean, like, while I don't skate, I am like considering getting into the hobby. I'm definitely interested in as well. And right now, I'm just trying to carve my own path going into it.
Yeah,
and
for
stuff
sure.
Like that,
I would
so.
definitely recommend. You know what I'm saying? Like, just
Yeah.
try it out. It doesn't hurt.
I definitely like your advice. I definitely want to hear more. But you can tell us more after a quick commercial break. Stay tuned, folks. Welcome back to the OC Spotlight, everyone. This is your host, Jessica Miller, here with our guest, Alex. We were previously discussing about his passion for skateboarding. And Alex, since you kept telling me all about like your skills and skateboarding and stuff like that, could you perhaps maybe teach me and the audience like how to use a skateboard and like maybe some like tips and whatnot?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like with skateboarding, look, I think that's very important, to get a foundation. What I mean by that is kind of like, how would I say, have board control, because a lot of people just want to hop on their board and start doing tricks. It's not really about that. First, you got to get comfortable with it. And, I tell everyone this, I think you have to find out what your foot positioning is. Because like I mentioned earlier, I mean, like some people are dominant with their right foot. That means they're goofy. So this is what they call goofy. I'm goofy. So really just finding out what's comfortable to you on your board before you start riding. And then the other one is regular. This is regular where your left foot is in front. So it's really that's kind of just personal preference. The way I like to say is, what do you kick a soccer ball with, your right or your left foot? That determines if you're goofy or regular footed. So really just finding out and having balance on your board is definitely like the thing you should for sure do, is figure out where you're comfortable on your board. Which foot is dominant, basically, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then once you figure that out, I'd say just start riding around, like try to ride your board as much as you can. Practice, practice around the street, around the block, ride your board. Find excuses to ride your board, like ride your board to the store, ride your board here. It's all about getting comfortable with it. So once you start learning, and then you can get into the basic tricks. But really, that's what I recommend. Really get comfortable with your board to the point where you can just ride it around everywhere. But the number one step, find your foot positioning.
Okay.
Before you start learning the basic tricks.
I mean, speaking of which, do you think I could probably like stand on your board for a
Yeah,
bit
for sure.
to see what's more comfortable?
So right there, that would be regular footed right there. If that feels comfortable to you.
But this is
That would be goofy, yes, because your right foot is forward. Yes, most people are the other one that you did. I'm personally that right there. I'm personally this.
Oh.
And then once you like get it down, like once you figure it out, you can start learning the basic trick, which is the ollie. That's the most fundamental trick. And actually, you know what's funny is the ollie's the fundamental trick supposed to be. I took 3 months, I barely got it good. Because before I didn't have it good off of things. Like it took me forever. I would be able to ollie, but not perfectly. Like it took me really 3 months to really perfect it. That's the thing. And I could kickflip before I had a perfect ollie.
I mean, I would definitely have to figure it out too. I mean, honestly, like I really appreciate all the advice you gave me and the audience. I appreciate you for coming to the show. Thank you for watching, guys.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's OC Spotlight. I'm your host, Tessa Campbell, and today we have a very special guest, Carrie Gray. She's a woman of many talents, including home economics, sewing, finance, and many other lifestyle hobbies. Carrie's been teaching home economics to middle schoolers for 8 years now, and she works hard to make a difference in her students' lives every day. She discusses many viable career paths for her students, as well as teaching them the importance of kitchen and food safety. We can get to more of that in just a moment here. How are you doing today, Carrie?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me so I can talk about my program.
Thank you for
how
coming.
important it is.
I heard that we're going to be getting to maybe try to make some fall food.
Yes, and it's something that any skill level can do.
Okay.
And it's very impressive looking, so even if you're a non-cook, everybody will think you're very talented in the kitchen.
Perfect, just what we need. Can we get to a little bit about how you kind of started into home economics?
Yes, so my mom and grandmother were both home economists, and sadly, it's kind of fallen out of fashion.
Yeah.
It was only for women. Very few men could even take it. They were always put in shop.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of was, oh, we don't need that class anymore. And they started finding that, well, they didn't know how to do finances and basic home things and safety. And we started having more and more issues, but bottom line, people didn't even know how to cook or shop, which is also a big deal because you have to know what you like, because if you don't like rosemary and the recipe says rosemary, it's okay not to put it in there. But people are like, I have to follow it exactly, and then they don't like their food. And kind of the joy of creating a meal with a group of people went by the wayside. So luckily, Capistrano Unified has 3 middle schools that offer this program.
Wow.
It is the most popular class in my entire school.
Oh my gosh.
80% of our students sign up to take it. And I have an advanced class that gets to stay all year. 250 students signed up for 34 spots. Oh my gosh. And the majority are boys. They want to learn to cook and eat with their friends. And it's just this really dynamic class. It's very loud. There's lots of talking and laughter and fun. But they're learning these life skills that I'm showing them what you learn in math. And you might think, I'm never using this again.
Yeah.
You're going to solve for X in your recipes. If you have to double or triple it, especially their favorites, because they want to eat more. Yes. So it's just such a wonderful experience for them.
Yeah.
They get all the foundations. They know how not to set their house on fire, which their parents are grateful for.
Yes, of
and
course.
even like, what do you do if you call 911?
Yeah.
What happens? So all of these little things kind of build into an entire semester, and they leave with a confidence in the kitchen, which is exactly what we would want from them.
I love that. I wish that they had that when I was in middle school. But do you have like kind of, what are the top like 3 maybe kitchen rules like that you have that people should have in your classroom as well as like at home too?
Definitely. There's big ones.
Yeah.
For me personally, I never want to set off the school smoke alarm. Even when it goes off, they always blame us. It's never been us at all, and it won't ever be.
Okay,
I never want to have to call 911 because somebody's injured. So we do a lot of kitchen safety.
Yes.
Please don't cut off your fingers or anything like that. And then I also don't want to end up on the news, because usually when teachers are on the news, it's not for something good. So when they are like, let's start a grease fire to see how fast we can turn it and turn off the flame, I'm like, no, I'll be on the news.
That's perfect.
So it's a running joke. And then for the students, their goal is to never become one of my stories.
I think that that's such a great motive. Let's get to a little bit more kitchen safety in just a moment here after the break. We'll see you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Again, we're here with Carrie Gray, home economics teacher and lifestyle enthusiast. So tell me, what are we looking at here in front of us?
Okay, so this is an easy Thanksgiving treat that if you have small kids there or you're going to a Friendsgiving and you want to impress the people that are there, these are made with crescent rolls. They're little turkeys. You can use them as a place setting or just to eat with butter and jam. So easy.
All right.
You just need a tube of crescent rolls.
Okay.
So super easy. Usually, this is good to take your frustration out and whack that on the counter because sometimes holidays are a little
stressful. Yes.
Or you can just push on the side and then that will open.
Perfect.
And so as you open this, it goes in the opposite direction. You'll see that there is this seam. So Pillsbury's so nice, they like pre-cut this for you. So do you want to just unroll it on that mat?
Okay. Just all the way out? Okay.
Awesome. And you can see there's like all of these dotted lines and everything. It's perfect, ready to go. And then part of cooking in a kitchen is choosing the right knife for the job. So you can see I have this giant knife.
Yes.
You are making cuts that are about a ½ inch. Definitely going to be the wrong choice.
Okay.
You can use just the normal knife, but that one's going to be your best bet for cutting dough.
Okay.
And you cut along the lines just to separate them into triangles or crescents. They turn into.
Perfect. Okay.
And these are usually on sale right around Thanksgiving, so it's if money's a little tight, this is even better.
Should I put them right here?
Sure.
Okay.
And now you're going to make the little feathers.
Okay. I'll make 2 just for both of us.
Yes, they're so good.
Okay. Perfect.
Butter always makes things better.
Oops.
So now you're going to, this is going to be the tail feathers, so you're going to make about 5 slits, about a ½ inch. Yes. You're already an expert. Okay. Now we're going to turn them into the turkeys. Okay. So the key is to do the face first, the tail last. So the face is going to go here, and the tail, first you're going to make like an S forward, down.
And then just press it in there?
Yeah, that's it.
Perfect. And then they should look like this when we bake them?
Do this.
Okay. Well, there you have it, everybody. Thank you so much, Carrie, for being with us.
Thank you so much.
You can keep up with her students and their activities at Ladera Ranch Middle School at CDE_careers on Instagram. Again, that's CDE careers on Instagram. Try and get creative with these and let us know how it goes. I know I'm definitely going to try these at home. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tessa Campbell, and this is OC Spotlight.